Hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I am Colleen O'Brien, certified Theta healer, and we're talking again about what is possible with my money mindset mentorship program. So today we are talking about trusting the flow of life. And you might just want to test that. Test, I trust the flow of life. Because you know what? When I tested that, I totally did not. I was like, hell no, we don't trust the flow of life. Life hasn't figured this out at all. It's just not working for me, right? And as I had spoken in the last video, I had this belief that I was giving way more into life than I was receiving in return. I wasn't being rewarded for what I had been putting in. I wasn't getting the return on investment on life, if you want to put it in those terms. And so I didn't think that it was, life hadn't earned my trust, if you want to put it that way. That I wasn't seeing evidence that trusting in the flow of life was going to result in my gaining anything. And I also, we all know those people who do just trust that everything's going to work out, right? And you know what it does for them? They're almost very magical, but they're almost like hippies, at least for me, right? They just didn't seem very grounded and, very practical. And, honestly, these were the kind of people that I just wanted to smack in the face. Like, I was like, that is not how life works. That is not how money works. I just wanted to smack them. And I didn't want to be like them at all. So when you have an example of someone who you don't want to be like, you're absolutely going to reject any sort of things that are working for them you might want to pick and choose certain things that they're receiving and that they have and those beliefs. But if you reject all of them, you're going to get none of that. And so it was impossible for me to be able to trust the flow of life if I was hating the people who did. If I had these beliefs that I absolutely did not want to be like the people that I was observing who were trusting in the flow of life. So I really had to get over that, over those judgments of people and wanting to smack them in the face for just, everything always works out. Good for you if everything always works out for you. And I also had to reconcile that even if I trust in the flow of life, I can still be me. I can still be that grounded person. I can still show up in the ways that I like, that are working for me. I don't have to be a carbon copy of the energy of the way that the people who are trusting in the flow of life, who happen to be in that really, I want to say, exalted state. I don't have to show up that way. I can still trust in the flow of life in my way and have life show up for me in that way. So that is what I have to share for you today about trusting the flow of life and, how you can do that. Because if you do not trust, a lack of trust is really grounded in insecurity, and a lack of money really will make you feel insecure, right? I mean, there's even, financially, there are investments called securities. It's all really tied up in that very much that survival mode. And if you want to stay very grounded and hold on to stuff, it's really difficult if you're keeping your fist closed on what you really have, to be able to open yourself up to receiving more. And flow, like that energy of flow, that energy of water, isn't very grounded. It's constantly moving. And so you have to be in that flow and that flux. And that can be super scary if you're holding on to things and wanting to feel secure, because you have beliefs about life being insecure because you don't trust the flow of life. So that is really what today's topic is about trusting the flow of life. And that is really the bottom belief, but going into, and it could be very individual in terms of why is that lack of trust there, and ultimately, how is it serving you? How does not trusting in the flow of life help you out? Like, what problem is that trying to solve? Like, you're getting something out of that. And I wish I could tell you what it was that I was getting out of not trusting in the flow of life. It's an indicator that it was a really deep healing for me when I worked on it, because I don't remember it. Sometimes it's so profound that you don't need to revisit those details, and it's just like, wow, okay, fantastic. But that's one of the reasons why I take so many notes, is so that if I am needing to share that or wanting to share that, particularly when I'm working on myself, that I can do that. Now, when I work with other people, I do sometimes take notes just so that I can keep track of where we are in the session, but I do not share those notes with anyone. Know that what happens in a session with me stays in that session, unless, of course, you choose to share it or you authorize me to share it. Some people who write reviews do want to share specific details, and others do not, right? And I understand the power of social proof, but I really hold sacred that trust that you have in me as a healer, because some of the things that we are going to touch on are going to be very emotional and very deep and very intimate, and maybe things that you've never shared with another human being before, and you may not even be consciously aware of yourself. So I really want to honor that and know that I'm not going to be telling tales out of school, right? What stays in a session, what happens in a session stays in a session. So I hope that these videos have been helpful to you, have been healing to you, given you something to think about. And if you are interested in working with me one-on-one as part of this Money Mindset Mentorship program, please do go to my website to find out more. Again, this is an individual. We're working one-on-one with people, so there's only so many slots available based on how many people I can see per week. And so if this is something that you are interested in, please do not delay to sign up, because at some point the slots will fill up. It's just I'm not trying to artificially get a sense of urgency here. It's just a practical thing. I can bend time like the best of them, but there's still only so many appointment slots available per week for me to be able to work with people one-on-one individually. And I'm really looking forward to working with people individually, one-on-one. I love doing theta healing sessions with people. And since it is something that you're committing to do once a week for a 6-week time period, I'm really looking forward to seeing what shifts are going to be possible for you when you commit to doing this in week after week like this. So I invite you to explore more. If you have more questions for me, or you want to have a little Q&A, there is a form available for you to talk to me about. And what else can we do with money? So I hope this was fun for me to do. I feel like I'm just vamping. I guess I just really don't want to say goodbye, but it's time for me to close. My name is Colleen O'Brien. Thanks for coming along for this video series with me, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.